Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever ember wanders near.
Because, yeah, HLC put out a video. He did. He put out a video. And I know how much you guys love Buff with his long balls. Long ball Buff. That's what we'll call it. So, let's get into it. This should be interesting.
Oh, gosh darn it. Not again.
What?
Listen, can my fellow Canadians stop trying to shoot at each other up here? Starting to
What?
sound like we're living in Detroit.
What? I hadn't heard about this. What the hell's he talking about? I had not heard about a shooting in Canada. I have no idea. I hadn't heard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel for you, Canada, but aren't guns, like, illegal up there? Not entirely. Just
No, they're not.
highly regulated. Far more
Yeah.
regulated than you. Besides,
Yeah, and that's correct. Like in the predominant majority of Canada, you have to get licensed for it. You have to go through license. What I need to do is I need to go through like a training course and get a license, so I can get a license for long guns and shotguns, and then I can do a second license. I can do another license for handguns, which it's not a problem for me to go through the training. I know how to use a gun. I've used a gun for, I've fired guns, respectably for years. So I'm not concerned about that. It's just a matter of being able to take the time to go do the training for it. But throughout like a lot of the country, especially in Alberta, Alberta is Canadian Texas. Okay. So like they love their guns up there. But like all throughout the country, you are allowed, you can have in your home, you can have a rifle, you can have a shotgun, and you can have a pistol as long as you go through the training and the licensing for it. The one codicil is that you can't have a rifle that can hold more than 10 rounds. If I'm remembering correctly, you can't you can't have an AR with a magazine that holds more than 10 rounds. That's the one stipulation where it's different from the U.S. The U.S. you can have a rifle that holds 20. I believe the same thing goes for pistols. And pistols, I believe you can only have a 10-round magazine, which is fine. I mean, that's basically California compliant. So it's there is no open or concealed carry. That's the big difference. In Canada, you cannot open or concealed carry. It's, if you're going to transport a firearm, you have to transport it secure, not immediately accessible, things like that. So that's where the big difference is that, unlike in the States, you're not going to have guys that are carrying a pistol on their hip or anything like that. That is a significant difference between US and Canada. And Leviathan, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you very much.
guys, we got plenty of yours pouring over our borders here. Even if we did outlaw them, we wouldn't do anything but stop only the legal ones.
Well, after that statement, I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome Canada to the Republican Party.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't compare me to any of those warmongering people out there.
Let's be real here. They're generally speaking not warmongering. The majority of the Republicans are do-nothings these days. So let's not give them more than they're due, okay? If they were warmongering, I'm sure people would actually probably like them more. The fact is, the majority of them don't do jack shit, and that's the big complaint these days.
No, I don't know if you know this, Canada, and, I mean, my fellow Americans. You can pick what you like and don't like from everybody that's out there, right? And you don't have to just follow party lines. Like, I know, inherently, I lean more conservatively, but I have no issue calling them out for their stupidity.
Yes.
Politics are kind of like a spectrum, just like gender.
No, just like autism, you cock-gobbling thunder cunt. It's like autism, not gender, you fucking retard.
Now that's binary. It's one or the other. And a whole lot of broken light switches.
Buff.
Yes,
That's not helpful. Realistically,
is.
someone identifying as whatever the hell they want doesn't hurt anyone. It's a problem when it becomes indoctrination.
Yes.
Like, for example, people in the world eat butt, but there's no reason we need to be teaching elementary school kids about it.
Ah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I don't need to be showing up to story time at the local elementary school, be like, hey, kids, gather around. Let me tell you what I do with Russia's mom. It's bad.
See, okay, here's the difference, Buff. That's not indoctrination. That's simply just sex ed. You're just teaching the future generations the way shit gets done. I fully support this, by the way.
I hate that fucking plane.
Yeah, but your mom loves them and she loves me too, so just deal with it.
Canada's right, America. You're becoming a bit of a problem. Do you know the number one thing that is illegally trafficked into my country from yours? Cannabis. I told you, dude.
Wait. United Rapistan is bitching and moaning because the number one thing illegally trafficked into the UK is weed. If that's your biggest problem with America, shut your fucking mouth. Out of everything going on in your sandbox in progress country, illegally trafficked weed from the States is the least of your issues right now.
Those weren't my pants. They were a friend of mine's. And he has a medical card. He's got glaucosis or something. Glaucoma? No, I don't think that's it. He's awake. But the crack was also medicinal.
Oh, for God's sake.
I think that one is permanently fried. Anyways, America,
That's why we love
I
him.
heard about your Senator, Lindsey Graham. Now, we may have had our professional differences, but I do believe, nonetheless, he tried to do what was in his best moral interests. Graham died? Shit, he was just here.
Yep. That's where a big part of the conspiracy theory came from. Literally either the day off or the day after he died, he was in Ukraine inspecting their drone factory. And so there was a lot of like conspiracy theories going around online because like I think that like the day after he visited it, a Russian missile took out that drone making factory. Supposedly, I've not verified any of this. Supposedly, a Russian missile took out the drone making factory that Lindsey Graham visited the day after he visited it. So the conspiracy theory is that he was actually still there and that Russia actually took him out with the missile and they're hiding it to make it so Russia doesn't know that they actually managed to take out Lindsey Graham. Excuse me. Now, I don't believe it. I just think it's hilarious the amount of like rumors and conspiracy theories that are flying around about Lindsey Graham. Like almost enough to rival what's going on with Mitch McConnell right now. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
It's so sad. He was so young.
Buff, he was 71.
Yeah, which in American politics basically makes him a young whippersnapper. Have you seen the rest of the fucking
he's not
crypt keepers
wrong.
we have up there?
He's not wrong.
No, I got nothing. He's totally right. Anyways, yeah, Ukraine. I know he was like show of solidarity with you. Do you think Russia had anything to do with this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. America, what good would it do for me to try and do anything to one of your politicians that's visiting a Nazi-controlled area like Ukraine? Besides, we will be done with special military operation any day now.
Yeah, you be done with your special military operation. I'll get done with your mom when I'm good and ready. Then it'll be a Buff's turn.
And it said he came down with sudden illness. Listen, homie, I have made quite literally everything nuclear. Everything. Like, if you think about it, if it's a weapon and it exists, I made it nuclear. With the exception of the landmine. That was beans on toast. Still feel
Yeah.
bad for the chickens. Anyways. And look, I've made weapons that make people vomit. Case in point, Venezuela. Look, there's a lot of strange things out there. I'm just saying, I hope this doesn't tie back to you. At the time of me recording this, no one is trying to tie this back to Russia. I'm just making a joke here. What if Ukraine did it for a false flag to try and get you involved in a special military?
Really? That's the conspiracy thing I'm going with. Where Ukraine did it as a false flag to try and get the U.S. to jump in. The U.S. doesn't need to. Ukraine is already shoving Russia's head in a dumpster. All they have to do is, the only thing U.S. would need to do is just like, oh, okay, well, instead of like giving you, instead of piecemealing you out weapons, we will just give you all the fucking weapons.
The operation, which I'm winning, by the way.
I'm gonna have to get that dude a copy of Hooked on fucking Phonics. I don't think he knows what the word winning means.
That's a fair point. 4.5, almost 5 years, and he doesn't even have air superiority. Meanwhile, I had it in Iran in like 30 minutes. Aside from that, I see, again, the administration in charge cut something else that was important to the world, and now you Americans are experiencing explosive diarrhea from eating raw fruits and vegetables. It's just their bodies purging themselves of all of the toxins and
Wait, I heard about this. Was it 38 people that experienced this, I think? And I'm trying to think, I think it was like, I'm going completely blank on what it was. But yeah, it's like, it's very, like, serious explosive diarrhea to the point, like, some people have been hospitalized because of it. Just because of essentially dehydration, because they cannot stop just shitting themselves. Cyclospora, that's what it was. Thank you. Yeah, Cyclospora, and it wasn't a lot of people. For some reason, the number 38 is sticking out in my head, like there were 38 cases of it or something. Keen, did you say that there's some cases in Eastern Canada too? I hadn't heard about that actually. Oh, 3,800. Okay, it's 3,800. That's where I'm getting the 38 from. 3,800 cases of it. Or 2,800, something like that. Yeah, okay, wait. There's been less than 3K reported. So 2,800, you meant, Atanashi, not 3,800. Yeah, and like, I hadn't heard about it out east in Canada. It's like, I hadn't heard about any cases being in Canada. So, I don't know. And at least 3,000, yeah. So I did hear about this. My suspicion is that this case of how's it pronounced again? What was the pronunciation? How was it? Cyclospora. My guess is the Cyclospora is gonna basically be a blip because Rep, how long ago did we hear about the hantavirus? That was oh so dangerous. That we had the hantavirus scare a couple months ago. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. We're gonna go into lockdowns again, and it was literally just a blip for like a week or two, and we never heard about it again. Exactly the what exactly? It gets people everywhere. This is just an abnormally large outbreak. Okay, so it's not unusual. It's an abnormally large outbreak. This is gonna go away in like a week or two. In about a week or two, it's it's gonna be gone. CDC will probably track it, make sure it doesn't get out of hand, and then a month or two from now, if someone brings up Cyclospora, people are gonna go, the what?
Microplastics, since we have
it's in Ontario, better. Okay.
Americans with explosive diarrhea. Oh, man. Now we're going to start looking like fucking India. India is a beautiful country. Many people come here and visit, and they talk about how clean and beautiful it is here in India.
True, but only in the city centers. Only in the tourist spots. Outside of the tourist, and by the way, this is true for literally every third world country. Every third world country has that like the one or the couple of those city centers or tourist hotspots that the government makes sure is neat and clean because it's a tourist trap and that's how they can get their money. And so they have these tiny little tourist sections that are gorgeous. Everywhere else in the country is just garbage. Everywhere else. You see that in India. You'll see it in Pakistan. You'll see it in Iraq. You'll see it in Iran. If you can actually visit Iran without getting killed as a Westerner. Every third world country has its own little pockets of beauty specifically done up to be beautiful for tourism. And absolutely everything outside of that is just shit country as far as the eye can see.
Not everybody shits in the street. Yeah, but with a population of like 3 billion, enough of them do.
Yes.
Ooh, scratch a Russian Su-35. It's a good day to be a air interceptor.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No.
I swear to Christ. When
Fuck me.
Franklin gets back, I'm busting out of here and I'm going rogue, man.
Kid, there's more to it than that. And wait, where's Franklin?
I think he's deep undercover trying to figure out about all the dead animals in California.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him in a while. He said
Franklin
he was
gonna mess shit up.
Last thing he said is he was gonna make John Wick look like a fucking kid's movie. And what do you mean? There's more to it than that. He killed Jet. I didn't kill Jet. I'm upset.
I swear to God, the kid's gonna have a wet dream and glass an entire country before too long. Somebody get this guy a freaking intercept already.
Well, okay. So Ukrainian media is claiming that a F-16 that was donated by the Dutch to them took out a Su-35E, which is honestly laughable. That would be an American aircraft, an American design from like the 70s or 80s, whenever I came out with that damn thing, that took out a jet that was built in 2014, which is fucking hilarious. However, there are some questions and problems that don't quite make sense. I don't see the problem. Swedish AWACS picked it up, sent me the targeting data. I went and hunted his bitch ass down. He's dead. Oh, and Patriot helped. Okay. So therein lies the issue. And that part about the Swedish AWACS, that was from a Reddit post. I really couldn't confirm that. Now, as much as I want this to be true, Russian mill bloggers, I have seen.
Yeah, I mean, like the F-16. Yeah, it's an old bird. It is, but it has gotten upgrades throughout the years, and it's still a viable intercept aircraft to this day. It's old, absolutely, but F-16 still fucks. It really does. It can handle business if need be.
Video of a Su-35 going down. That is a fact. I have seen video of the destroyed Su-35. That is a fact. However, granted, my experience with Link 16 is incredibly limited, and I'm not even sure if the Ukrainian F-16s have Link 16. It's a sensor network that you can pass, not necessarily targeting data, because the sensors in Link 16 don't often have the fidelity to pass said targeting data, which is why we're getting something online called the IFCN, the Integrated Fire Control Network. That's from IBCS, which is the Integrated Air Missile Defense Battle Command System from Northrop Grumman. I'm nerding out here for a minute, guys. Now, you can, through Link 16, give a location and identification of an inbound track and pass that in real time to friendly sensors and tell them where to go. This is often referred to as, calling up DCA, or defensive counter air. This is a very common thing with the U.S. Air Force.
We really do have too many fucking acronyms. It's like that Canadian lady who has like the 73-digit letter thing for gay people. And
No. Yeah, I'm gonna tiz him out on this. No, it's not. It's no. It's not for gay people anymore. They co-opted it. They co-opted the missing and murdered Indigenous women and children into the LGBT acronym so they could try and take it over, because basically those groups try and co-opt each other all the fucking time. So, no. Gonna have to call out on that one. I went on a huge rant about this a couple months ago when that video first surfaced. It's all bullshit. It's basically one group saying, we don't think we're getting enough attention, so we are now going to hitch ourselves to the group that currently is getting attention, and we're going to slap our acronym onto the beginning of their acronym to make us more important than them while the missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls thing is important without question, it is an issue that Canada has been fighting against or fighting with for years, absolutely. But by slapping it onto the beginning of the alphabet crew, you're only just disingenuing your entire cause by aligning yourself with by not only aligning yourself, but basically superimposing yourself onto this group in the first place. And you're basically screwing over both of your groups because now normal, sane people want nothing to do with any of you now. Because the mainstream LGBT organizations now are all SJRs and are basically terrorist organizations, and the flag is a flag of hate. Nobody wants anything to do with them now. You then lump in your missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls acronym on top of theirs. Now you are aligning yourself with, effectively speaking, a terrorist and hate organization. So you've now tanked all credibility for your entire organization by doing that. Not a smart fucking plan. And as far as what about missing, murdered, and what about the men? Basically, it's the men that are apparently doing the murdering in the Indigenous. Apparently, I don't freaking know. But basically, it's there is, like, in Canada, there has been a very serious issue with the Indigenous population of women and girls being basically abused and or killed. And they, it's kind of like nobody sees it. It's like, I don't see, I don't do. And so it's been a very serious problem. Now, in terms of like there was like children, both boys and girls. That was the whole rural school thing, or the Christian rural school things with the supposed mass graves that have been found. I've heard that there is some dispute about whether or not they actually found it, whether or not it was a false flag. I don't freaking know. I didn't even dig into that one. I don't know. But basically, when it comes to the Indigenous populations, I think any fatalities in regards to men, I think generally speaking, are self-inflicted through illicit substances. Whereas through illicit substances, whereas with the women and girls, they are homicide or sexual abuse versus self-inflicted stuff. So that's why the focus is with the Indigenous population, why the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. That's why.
The beginning of it is MMIW, which is missing and murdered Indigenous women, which is wild. Can you imagine? You're just a straight Indigenous woman and you go missing one day and they're like, yep, you're one of the gays.
Now, the online claim is that they're using an AIM-120 AMRAAM to take down the Su-35, which the missile is capable of doing. However, that would have to be organically targeted based off of the platform that the Ukrainians have, which means the F-16 would have to detect personally the Su-35. So we don't really know like relative locations of these targets, shooters, and sensors to one another. Now, if you're saying, well, what if Patriot targeted and passed the targeting data? That's a great question. Patriot, the sensor portion, like the battery, the firing unit, doesn't use Link 16. Now, they can observe Link 16, but they don't produce tracks on the Link 16 network. So you would have to correlate the organic local track number with the link track number to be able to identify. Now, could Patriot successfully engage and destroy the Su-35 by itself? Without question, yes. It would see right through any countermeasures that Su-35 has. It would have to use mass terrain to its advantage. And if they did it in the style of a SAMbush, which they have done previously, which is where you leave the sensor off until you use another sensor to identify incoming targets, you power on the radar, fire, and as soon as you drop the target, you pack up and move. Ukrainians have done that before. Again, there's more questions than answers in this whole thing. I do want to talk about it because plenty of people have brought it up, but the answer's significantly more confusing than what we got so far. I hope that made sense to everyone. It made sense in my brain. So he didn't kill an enemy jet? Possible. Likely, but unconfirmed. I can tell you right now, if an F-16 and a Patriot system were both going after a Su-35, it has a snowball's chance in hell of surviving that interaction.
Yeah.
So, who hit it? I don't know. Was one down? Yes. But I have no clue who did it. I will admit that the Su-35 was taken out. But the pilot ejected and has survived.
And?
But he could have just went down because maybe aircraft broke. Will you stop shooting at my fucking oil vessels that don't belong to me? You've gone after my reactors, you've gone after my fuel, you've gone after my civilians. Turnabout's fair play, fucker. Put another notch on the board. That's what, 93 tankers that I've hit in the Sea of Azov just this week? Hey, no one likes a backseat dictator, but if you cut your losses at this point, you might stay in power. Too much longer, I would genuinely suspect people would rise up and probably,
and another.
Definitely wishful thinking. That is, without question, wishful thinking on his part. Would love to see it, but realistically, probably not going to happen. Yeah, it is a far reach. Yep.
World, we could be friends. But also in that world, you're not completely retarded.
Buff, aren't you supposed to be bombing Iran again? Because they're still on their shit, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Bouncing back and forth between Iran bombings and then just going to plow Russia's mom. I'm like a big, horny ping pong ball on this planet, but I'll get back to work.
I am not going to back down from this, America. I will start hitting everybody in the region again. What else is fucking new?
Yeah, exactly.
Heads up, the bearded lady has his panties in a fucking wad again. Patriot, how's it going over there? It's getting pretty sporty over here. What the hell is going on? You were designed for this. I am trying. Do you know the max effective range on, howitzers against enemy incoming missiles? 1 mile. That's 1.6 kilometers if you don't have your flag on the moon. Kid, your conversion math is right, but your statement is wrong. Patriot, there isn't. You can't shoot down a missile with a howitzer. Yet. Exactly. So I'm out here alone and unafraid. I'm doing the best I can. You want perfection? I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. Sounds like a skill issue. You can shut your psychotic mouth. I'm out here trying to deconflict commercial air traffic, blue force air, and fucking enemy missiles, as well as shahheads and all sorts of other things flying around out here. Yeah, you should shoot down some friendly jets. You were so good at it last time. Two friendly jets 20 years ago. You know what? If there's a balloon out here, I know who to ask. How many intercepts have you had?
Oh, you want to find out?
Oh, yeah, you want to know? You brave-looking toaster little motherfucker. Both of you, cut it out. Patriot, just keep doing the best you can. I understand leakers are going to get through. Nothing is perfect.
Time for
Just
fratricide.
do the best you can. We have got to stop pulling fucking punches, man. We can't expend this amount of fucking interceptors for extended periods of time.
We have 2,000 portable stars. Look, we keep trading blows. And Iran, you need to understand. Oh, I just rhymed there. It's probably because I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Anyways, so Iran, if you keep attacking civilian vessels, I'm going to keep destroying everything you care about.
You've already...
Okay. This is going to be an unpopular take. This feels like a lot of saber rattling. We keep hearing this over and over again. Oh, we're going to take out all your shit. Oh, we're going to take you down. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do that. And what happens? Nothing. Yeah, we throw a missile here and there. We take out an installation here and there. The fact is, there's been a hell of a lot of posturing and nothing happens. Now, am I saying glass the country? Fuck no. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, why don't we just glass Iran?" No. You're talking about glassing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of civilians No, because the civilians hate the government and the IRGC just as much as we do. So no, I'm not talking about glassing the civilians, but I'm talking about actually starting to do like I have little doubt that they know where all of the upper echelon for both for both the Iranian government and the IRGC is. It's time to start taking out the heads because at this point it's you can't like Iran at this point knows that the U.S. is not actually going to take decisive action. They unfortunately it's been proven. Like yeah, they'll one side will sling missiles at them, the other side will sling some missiles at them. So they'll do some back and forth, and then they'll pretend like, oh, we're going to make a ceasefire deal. And then, of course, Iran's going to break it. There's going to be a couple more missile slingings. And then Iran's going to pretend like they're going to come to the table to make a ceasefire deal. And then, of course, they break it. And it's the same pattern over and over and over again. And we are basically getting to the point where the U.S. is kind of, sort of, not entirely. Okay, this is a little bit of a false equivalency on this comparison here, but the U.S. is starting to look like a paper tiger, where you've got the president that is talking tough shit, like I'm about to bomb you back to the Stone Age, or I'm about to destroy you and everything you love, and nothing happens. Like we are literally in this never-ending cycle, and that's one of the reasons why more and more people don't like what's happening in Iran. That's why more and more people are basically saying that they want out of Iran, because it's the same thing over. We're hitting them now as we speak. Yeah, but how are we hitting them? Is it the same damn thing over and over again? We're gonna fight. We're gonna lob a couple of missiles at them, destroy a little bit of their infrastructure, and then fuck off and say, okay, now come to the table. They'll come to the table. They'll pretend to do a peace deal, and then a day or two later, Iran's gonna break it. We're right back to square one. Yes, that's probably what's going to happen. Saying, "Oh, we're hitting them now." Hitting them how? Are we hitting them with anything meaningful? Are we doing anything to actually like bring down the despotic government or to take out the IRGC that is terrorizing the native Persians of the country? No, we're not. Until that actually happens, we're going to be in this never-ending cycle, and the people of America are going, like, more and more and more are going to start turning against the government and turning against the president for doing this. And that is the problem. Unless something substantive actually starts happening, it's the same thing over and over again, and basically all of Trump's tough talk of I'm gonna nuke you and everything you've ever loved is just lip service, and nobody's gonna care. Clearly, Iran doesn't give a shit. Nothing's gonna change until that does.
Destroyed pretty much everything. We are fighting an uphill battle here, but the Iranian spirit will never falter.
All right, we're gonna start bombing the hell out of you. I
Yeah,
tell
that's
you,
what
the
they
amount
always
of
say.
missiles coming out of the Islamic Republic of
And by the way, we're going to start bombing the hell out of you. Plus, all that talk of we've wiped out everything. We've wiped out all of your armaments. We've wiped out all your navy. If that was true, then how are they still firing off missiles? How are they still sending missiles into other countries? How are they still fighting if the U.S. actually did completely obliterate their militaristic might? If we supposedly wipe them out, like all of the pundits and like what the president says, how are they still able to fight? What are they using, and how are they still able to do it? That's why I'm saying this is turning into a paper tiger situation, where we're in a repeat cycle. They're going to pretend like they're going to do a treaty, and they're going to break it, and so on and so forth. And it's why people are getting, China, Russia. You don't think that they couldn't have stopped the supply lines? If the U.S. was actually serious about Iran, why haven't they stopped the supply lines from China and Russia? If the U.S. was actually serious about doing it, they would have cut Iran off from their, they cut off the Strait of Hormuz for a while. If they were actually serious, why wouldn't they cut off the supply lines coming from China? So China's literally transporting missiles over land. So why not cut that route off? Why not cut that off? Iran has missile production facilities inside mountains and stockpiles weapons in caves around the country. Guarantee we have weapons that can get in there. If they have facilities inside mountains, what do you think we have bunker busters for? And if they're in mountains, they're not near civilians, so just carpet bomb the crap out of it. But again, that's if they actually got serious about it. That's if they actually had the balls to do something about it. And the fact is, they're showing that they don't. That is the complaint that I and a lot of people have, is that we keep doing this dance. It's costing America money. It's causing oil prices to basically turn into a fucking roller coaster, and people are done with it. They are really done with it. I've seen gas drop, and then I've seen it spike back up again, and people are done with the shit. They really are.
Japan is wild.
Wait, what did he
The
say?
Islamic Republic of Japan is...
Spirit will never falter.
All right, we're gonna start bombing the hell out of you. I tell you, the amount of missiles coming out of the Islamic Republic of Japan is wild.
What?
What did...
That's right. I think I remember seeing that. He was like, Trump was talking to the press. I think I remember this. Trump was talking to the press, and I think he did that. He made that gaffe. Yeah, he made that gaffe. He had that gaffe. He was like doing a press conference or something, and he called it the Islamic Republic of Japan. I remember that. It was like, what, last week I think he did that? Something like that, yeah.
What the fuck did I do to you? And we are not Islamic. They're mad at us because we don't want them doing what they do here in Japan. And I learned 80 years ago, don't touch the boats.
Hey, Japan, but your Shinto shrines are getting burned down to the foundations, and you have dozens upon dozens of illegal mosques being built in your country, and you're not stopping it. So you might want to get on that before that gaffe of a slip-up and might actually come true.
To sun on my fucking country.
The bird